Take it right down, take it right down, right down. Take it right down, take it right down, right down.
Yeah. Boom to the hey, all you sports fans out there in the tubosphere, to you, the individual, as part of the collective. Welcome to Fast Track Sports Rack, highlights here on Talk Radio version of the OMSR. I am, as always, your brief but very concise host, Will, the alternative ESPN Sports Thrill. Always do a little show like this, a little voiceover intro, let you know the clip order coming up and the whys to wherefore. So, trying to double time it to get caught up with baseball highlights at the quarter to third way through the season, kind of in between all that. So part one, Dodgers and Ryu doing very well. He's the pitcher who got the closest to longest stretch to a no-hitter who didn't get it type deal. Part two, Toronto Blue Jays kicking butt, as opposed to this time last year they were at the bottom end of the barrel. Now they're on top of things, playing in an empty dome. Be on the Quickie Sport Rant. Red Sox snap their losing streak, but Buchholz desperately needs that beard back. Part 3, Yankees versus Cards go to extra innings. Orioles and Brewers as well. And then the Cubs versus San Francisco, and you got Samardzija getting the best, what did they say, ERA. Excuse me. In the majors. Quickie Sport Rant's going to cover all that stuff, but it's going to come after the fact, most notably. Explain why the OMSR splits up baseball into multiple shows. This is the baseline show, you understand. You want to go back to see the other parts so know when to fast forward to. In the meantime, roll clips.
And with that, we say welcome to baseball tonight, the manager's edition of the show. But you'll notice one is missing. That's because Ozzie Game was fired. With Eric Wedge and Maniac, I'm Adnan Burke. No, he already had a long enough day, so Ozzie's moving on. But the managers go out. We've done this once before, and we're going to have some more fun, especially when you have a great game that will make a manager look good. That's what Hyun-Jin Ryu was doing for Don Mattingly on this night. Josh Beckett threw a no-no yesterday, and Ryu was pitching very well early on.
Well, you know, he did a great job with the fastball up. He got a lot of swing throws on that fastball up, cutting the ball in a little bit, and then as he keeps going, he's able to throw the ball down and out of the zone, so pitching very smart early on.
He was perfect through 3. Top of the 4th, Ryu getting some help on defense. Zach Kozar gets contact. What a play by Justin Turner.
This is a play, the one that everybody on the bench is telling themselves, hey, this might happen.
I always wonder that, because certainly as a member of the media or a fan, you always say, hey, look at the defense they're getting. You guys are thinking that too. Top of the 7th, as Yasiel Puig approves, Hamilton chalks the 2nd, D. Gordon to 1st for the out.
Well, you know, you got to be quick with it right here with Hamilton getting down the line. It's just a routine play, but you know what? A good pitch and making him do what you want him to do right now.
Every Dodger's paying attention. Next batter, Kozar swinging. 7 strikeouts for Ryu. Brandon Phillips up next. He'll chop it back to the pitcher. He's perfect through 7.
Well, just a real good job, you know. I mean, you're just missing the barrel of the bat. You know, working it away, working it in.
Bottom of the 7th. Ryu is now up. The chopper to short that Kozar can't handle. A run scores. He's safe at first. Dodgers up 2-0.
Yeah, this is a huge run, too, and it will turn out to be a bigger run than they're imagining right now in that situation.
And 2 batters there. Carl Crawford to deep left center. Ryu's running home. Maybe all that running would take a toll on the big man.
Well, I tell you what, I mean, not just that, but having hustled, you know, to get on first base with the infield chopper and then scoring all the way from first base. That is a lot of effort.
Top of the 8th, Ryu goes back to the mound, and it'll be Todd Frazier. Instead of down goes Frazier, and down goes the perfect game and the no-hit bid.
Yeah, it was a 1-0 count, and he had to come to the fat part of the plate because he was throwing a perfect game. He didn't even want to walk him, and everybody at the big league level, it's a lot better hitter on 1-0 count.
Ryu was asked afterwards if he was thinking about the perfect game.
Of course, you know, it was in the back of my mind. I was thinking about it. I think it's actually my first time. I'm not exactly sure. It's the first time I've ever gone into the 7th inning in my professional career. But yeah, of course, it was sitting inside my mind. I think it wasn't until the 7th inning where I actually thought it could actually happen. Of course, every pitcher goes out every game trying to do the best they can, but it wasn't until then that I thought it could be a reality.
I told Ryu last night when he got on the plane he got to throw a perfect game today to top Beckett, and yeah. for a while there, I was like, whew, may do it. Ball seemed like it was jumping out of his hand tonight.
Pitching big games, they don't happen because we want them to happen. A lot of different factors have to fall into place.
Performance maniacs as we go beyond the box score.
He just has the ability to keep the ball off the middle of the plate, off speed, low and away. At the big league level, whenever you have your back against the wall, you got to go low and away because right-handed hitters will be rolling over. Just keep the ball away from the fat part of the bat. He threw the fastball in, but most of the time, look, off speed, low and away. And those guys just can't keep their hands with the palm down, palm off. They'll roll over all night, and that's what they did for him. He was just very effective on the lower half of the strike zone.
The longest perfect game bid by any pitcher this season, and prior to Monday, he had never put together a no-hit bid longer than 3 1/3 innings and 38 career starts in the big leagues. The Reds have still never had a perfect game thrown against them. But Eric, to Manny's point, this guy showed why he, on many other teams, would be the ace of the staff.
Well, that's exactly right. And you can say that about 2 or 3 of their guys, or 3 or 4 of their guys. One thing I liked what we saw tonight is that he kept going to the well. What I mean by that is, you know, they kept chasing the fastball up, he kept throwing it up there. You know what, if they noticed that the right-handers were trying to lay off that cutter in, you know, he kept going in there, but he kept going in there on the plate, and then off the plate once he started chasing. And then he started throwing the secondary stuff down but on the plate, which is tough to lay off that pitch down and on the plate. He did a great job of recognizing what was working and kept going to it.
This guy can pitch, man. He's followed a pitching plan very well. We could see how he stays away from the middle of the plate. He throws on the low and away, and then when he comes inside, he comes off the plate. I mean, he doesn't have overpowering stuff, but he can locate with his best, and he also can follow pitching plan, which is very important.
All right, so the perfect game was gone, but was the victory ever in doubt? We check out the rest of the highlight, what happened in this one. Top of the 8th, Brian Wilson's in, bases loaded, and Billy Hamilton doubles to right center. That'll score 2.
Well, it's a different ball game, and how many times have you seen this? I mean, you know, you get so caught up in the perfect game and the no-hitter, you know, hey, you still have to win the ball game. You know, the wind's out of the sails, so to speak, you know, with perfection, but you still have to finish off the ball game.
Good play by Puig there, hitting the cutoff man, and that kind of saved him a run. So Kenley Jansen's now in, he gets Phillips.
He's terrific, man. He's got that late movement, that natural cut fastball, and he's been asked to do a few of those 4-out saves early in the year, and he just he continues to come through for them.
Gets Devin Mesoraco with 2 on, 2 out.
Well, I think it's interesting, too, that, you know, it was a 4-out save. We've got to go from the perfect game to a 4-out save. I mean, you're seeing these managers bring these closers in the 8th inning a lot more earlier this year than in past because there is so much parity in baseball.
Yeah, you see that they do not want to take any chances, so... Johnny Cueto, by the way, lost in all this, went 6 1/3 innings, 4 runs, only 1 earned. He has 12 runs allowed in his last 2 starts after just 10 allowed in his first 9 starts combined, but it is the Dodgers.
Some good stuff going on there. Quickie sport rant. It's like a 4 for 1. Okay, the thing with baseball is because they play so many games, it's a difficult sport to cover. And I know a lot of my subs, and I've even lost a few of them because this year I've just not been staying on top of it. Well, part of the reason is because the way it was done last year in terms of baseball tonight on Sunday morning with Tim Quirkjim, who bears a strong resemblance to the wizard in Monty Python's Holy Grail, who was also named Tim, so it made for a hilarious segue. Can't do that this year. I was a little disappointed because they're doing this thing now where it's the Sunday night featured game. It's where they do Sunday baseball. Okay, so be it. But that's why. Plus, your 3 big professional leagues and NASCAR, so let's call it 4, have gotten real fanatical about, yeah, even if you take this amount from a game you follow, third-party content ID rears its ugly head. And if you get too carried away, even on third-party video, they'll ding you outright. So that's the way it is. OMSR show always tries to educate you while bringing you highlights and provide relevant sport talk. All right, so don't be too hard on Ryu, the Dodger. He still has his translator speaking for him. Now, Will of the OMSR is very partial to Korean, or Koreans. Goes back 20 some odd years. A long and steady experience with and with those of Hapkido. When you come from the Asian languages, English is very difficult to learn because the grammatical rules in say like Japanese, especially, which I know the most of, or in terms of having seen it spoken the most, being raised in Japan and whatnot. No, I don't speak Japanese. I'm just saying that, like in English, when you could say, ideally, this guy won't be talking so much, or this guy won't be talking so much, ideally. In Asian, a lot of times, the word at the end is translated to be the word at the beginning. So it's just as difficult for us to learn some of these Asian languages, but I would say, or will say, that you would think by now he'd know maybe a little bit more English, but apparently not. All right, hey, Toronto, what's going on? Qu'est-ce que c'est votre problème dans les contre du Canada? Toronto doing well, still playing in, like, I swear it's one of the biggest looking stadiums / it's a dome in the major leagues. Encarnacion, bring more people out, especially on Memorial Day weekend. And Red Sox, they finally break their losing streak, but Buchholz looks like a 15-year-old kid out there without the beard, and his game may be suffering because of it. And then finally, you know, maybe the Cubs can finally make some noise this year when you got a pitcher like Samardzija doing well. All the video highlights courtesy to ESPN vis-a-vis Baseball Tonight. The best show ever to break down baseball in terms of analysis, and to MLB. Everything else to the OMSR. Now, I wholeheartedly recommend you catch Baseball Tonight. It's on every freaking night of the week because, like, as I mentioned, baseball's a very long season. That's why you gotta pace yourself. I'm gonna try to bring more updates, say like on Mondays and Fridays, because as I said, this Sunday version of Baseball Tonight just is not as good as last year. And they're not showing the records of the clubs a whole lot of the time either. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. No silly DYs while you're out there celebrating the NBA playoffs. We are later out of here.